Now, before we begin, I'm sure you're probably asking, what is this?
An excellent question, Ted. This is St. Rose Fireside Chats, a video podcast where members of St. Rose TV, like us, argue and discuss topics voted by you, the precious students on campus.
That's right, Aaron. We'll also answer questions pertaining to your voted topics. Give us the topics, we give you the infotainment, a symbolic relationship between you and us.
FDR would be proud. Now that you know what you got yourself into.
Hi, I'm Mark.
I'm Ted.
What's up? I'm Aaron.
Welcome to St. Rose Fireside Chats. Tonight on the chat,
St. Rose Wi-Fi.
dining hall food.
And partners in video games.
All right, so St. Rose Wi-Fi. Mark, I'm gonna let you start.
Okay, personally, for as much as I pay, the Wi-Fi could improve. Took me 2 days to download Halo. That's way too long. That's ridiculous. It took me almost an hour yesterday to start up Netflix.
Woo, my goodness.
But Mark, the problem with the way the Wi-Fi is set up is you have everyone on campus. That's over 3,000 people on the same Wi-Fi. Because of that, you should expect it to be slow. You should expect it to have delays.
But shouldn't they compensate for the fact that there's 3,000? They know there's 3,000 people. Shouldn't they compensate for the fact that, okay, there's 3,000 people, we need to have good Wi-Fi?
Well, Aaron, I remember we had actually talked about this before. You had said that their hub is probably located in St. Joseph's, but then they kind of have satellites or something.
Not really satellites. What happens is they have devices in each of the buildings that pretty much that recognize the Wi-Fi and then shoot out as its own, kind of like satellites, I guess you could say, where they take the information.
Or extenders.
Yes.
For lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm. So they have one of those in every building, and granted, those do help a little bit, but at the same time, because of them, they just add more people to the Wi-Fi, which will, once again, Mark, slow it down.
Yeah, honestly, I think most of the problems with the Wi-Fi, it's just a matter of the human condition. Now, Mark, I do agree with the 3,000 plus kids. Obviously, it's going to slow down, but they should kind of be ready to accommodate for that. With that being said, any problems you tend to have, Wi-Fi, computers in general, go to ITS. I've been there before for my Wii U. They're very approachable. They're very competent. They do know what they're doing. I went there first to inquire about a work study position, and when they asked me about a resume, I kind of noped right out of there.
He doesn't have papers.
It's illegal.
But they do know what they're doing, and they can help you out. Now, I know you're busy, you got your classes, you got generally a whole bunch of stuff to do being a college student, but honestly, your PC's going to space. It's ricocheting off a satellite so that you can connect to Google. I think you can afford to walk to ITS at some point during your day. But honestly, get a LAN cable. I got a LAN cable, and I honestly haven't looked back. Now, are you too familiar with Helen Keller?
I believe I am, yes.
I think so, too.
Okay.
I've heard it for once or twice.
Now, I've said a lot about the human condition, and the Wi-Fi really is like a fickle person. It has its good days and its bad days. When I'm with it for an extended period of time, I feel like Anne Sullivan, and she was the precious woman that helped lead Helen to the fountain. Now, I feel like Anne Sullivan, and I feel like the network is Helen. I lead her to the fountain of bandwidth, but you can't drink the water because there's lead in it, and the lead is latency. But I'll put the network's hands into the water, and then everything just clicks. It's like, Wi-Fi. It's like, yes, you got it. It's like magic, because sometimes I'll open up the network properties and the megabytes per second range, which is, it just kind of measures how fast your internet speed is. It'll be like 36 megabytes per second, 72, and when I got that LAN cable, let me tell you, at one day, I got it 300 megabytes per second. But honestly, like I said, if you're having any troubles, get a LAN cable, go to ITS, and just kind of expect that there are going to be a lot of people on the same network, even though there are a lot of networks that St. Rose has, and just work with it. Be patient. Be Anne Sullivan.
Now, that is it for that topic. On to the next one, which is dining hall food here at the College of St. Rose. Personally, for me, I enjoy it. I'm more quantity over quality when it comes to buffets like we have at the dining hall. And I do actually appreciate some of the food. Granted, not every time I go they have stuff that I want. But for the most part, like if they don't have something that appeals to me, I can go to the grill or I can go to the pizza station or the sandwich station. And 9 times out of 10, they will have something for me there. Granted, I might get bored of it, but at the same time, it still tastes good.
What about you, Mark?
I personally think they just need to change it up sometimes. Like, really, there was one time I walked in there, and 3 days in a row it was tacos. Monday it was tacos. I was like, okay, this is okay. Tuesday I was like,
Taco Tuesday.
nice, but you can start switching it out. By Wednesday I was like, get it out. Get
Yeah.
it out now. They're okay tacos. They're not great tacos. They're okay.
I liked them. I thought they were actually, because I do know what you're talking about. I remember that time, and I loved that time because I'm a very big taco person. And for me, that was probably one of my favorite weeks here at school, lunch-wise, just because I really enjoyed the tacos.
All right. Honestly, when it comes to the dining hall, I really don't have any beef with the food itself. Literally because they don't typically serve beef. At the end of the day, the people that make all that food for the buffet, they're people too. So sometimes they're gonna put out real exemplary stuff. Other times they're gonna put out some mediocre stuff. But I've never left the dining hall feeling unsatisfied. Like, you two know my eating habits. When I sit down with you guys to eat, what do I get?
You eat everything.
A little bit of everything. Ted.
Because I'm just shameless. I don't care what it looks, I just care how it tastes. And typically, I'm not a food connoisseur. To me, food's food. It tastes pretty good.
And somehow you just maintain this weight forever.
I don't know.
And
how.
easy peasy.
What do you do, Ted?
But my real problem with the dining hall, it's the environment itself. People are just, they're dirty. Like, when I go with you guys to go eat, the booths, typically, they're just, it's kind of appalling how much filth there is, and it's food. Like, we can honestly feed the 3,000 plus homeless that are in Albany with the amount of waste that we have food-wise. Like, when I go to the conveyor belt, like, I feel like crying just of how much food is just left there to die. But
Ted, with that comment, once again, we have discussed before, and what I have said before is, not every time you're gonna have something, like, you may look at something like, ooh, that looks interesting, that looks delicious, and then you try it, and it's subpar at best. You might not like it, and then you don't want to eat it. Like, if, say someone put something in front of you don't want to like, Grant, I don't know, you don't like, so Mark, someone put something in front of you you don't want to eat, you don't like.
Yeah.
You're not gonna force yourself to eat if you don't have to.
No, I
Okay.
completely agree with this statement. And Ted, I think you also have to look at you're a quantity man, more like Aaron.
guilty.
But me personally, I feel more quality, and so that's why I feel that sometimes at the dining hall, I'd rather just go to Camelot. Like, I know it's
Okay.
money, but I'd rather spend the money because I know quality-wise it tastes better for me.
Okay, you know what? You opened my eyes a bit. Every rule does have its exception, but I still feel just the amount of waste we have, even if it's like, oh, I didn't particularly care for this, it's excessive. But the only other problem I have with the dining hall is that people just kind of find their clique and they stick with it. Like, this really goes out to the freshmen. Like, we didn't really branch out. We just kind of secluded ourselves from one another. Like, we're a family now. Like, you got to branch out. You got to break bread with people that you're just meeting or you haven't met before. You got to be social. It's part of being an adult. Like, it's not as hard as it sounds. You just got to get a little bit creative. Like, put a little sign that says, eat here, make friends with me. Me personally, when I first got here, I was a bit shy, a bit reclusive. That's a whole nother story, but I know, hard to believe. What I did once, I got a booth for myself, and I put this little guy right on the other side of me. This is my dinner date, Jeffrey the Duck. And you know what? This guy, he got me connections. Like, people, he grabbed their attention. They would drop by to inquire about the duck. And at one point, these two girls actually came over. I talked to them. One thing led to another. I found out they were from where I was from, Long Island, where we have a tremendous amount of ducks. But it's the little things that add up. So just to conclude, just clean up after yourselves and don't be afraid to talk. Like, we're all students here. We're not strangers.
Jeffrey helps.
Jeffrey does. Now,
Shout out to
on
Jeffrey.
to our third and final topic, which is going to be partners in video games. Now, Mark and I both have girlfriends who play video games. Mine somewhat regularly, yours not as much. Ted, on the other hand, ladies, for you, is single. His number I don't know off the top of my head, but I will post at some point.
I'm so offended.
Do it.
So what's going to happen here for this segment is Ted's going to ask both Mark and myself questions on video games and relationships, and we'll answer as best we can. So Ted, I'll let you take this one away.
All right, I'll start with something pretty easy. The two of you, what are your opinions on whether or not your partner is better or worse than you at video games? Do you think it kind of adds to it, or do you think it kind of takes away from it?
Well, for me, with my girlfriend, since I said she was a pretty hardcore gamer like myself, her and I have different tastes in video games, where I'm more of a fighter sports video game like 2K, Mortal Kombat, that's my stuff. She's more shooter like Halo, Destiny, games like that. And so we do kind of find equal medium, like I'll play Halo with her, sometimes she'll play Mortal Kombat or 2K with me. And it works for us. It definitely brings us closer together, I think, and I enjoy it now.
Yeah, it's a good variety.
Exactly, Mark.
Good to hear.
With me and my girlfriend, again, two very different things. She's more Temple Run, Mario Kart. I'm more like Fallout, Halo, 2K. However, we do have an equal medium, and especially in like Mario Kart, we'll play against each other. We just got a Wii U. I'm gonna beat you. I swear to God, I'm gonna beat you. And it's nice that she also makes an effort to. Sometimes she just sits there and watch, and other times, like there was this great story where me and him came back from getting our girlfriend's food, and they were actually sitting playing 2K with our favorite teams. It was really nice to see, actually.
That's good. This is just a general question for you to just kind of answer for all the relationships out there. Do you feel it's better to kind of blend your partners with your passions? Because in this case, your passion would be video games. Do you think it's better to just kind of find a balance between them or make it a blend? Or do you think chaos is better?
I think the blend is better, actually, just find the common ground in playing. Because like I said, my girlfriend and I, we play Halo with each other, we play 2K with each other, and all those games together. And because that does, like I said, bring us closer together, so I think the common ground is better than the total chaos.
All right. What about you, Mark?
I'm gonna sort of agree with Aaron on this.
Thank you.
My girlfriend and I do find common ground in some things, but one of the better things is she has something she really likes and she can do, and I have something I really like and I can do, and it's really nice the few times where we come together and we actually do something together that I like and she likes, and now our interests are kind of blending.
So I think that kind of wraps it up for that final section of ours.
If I had to conclude, I'd say that no matter what your skill is, no matter what your gaming habits are or your tastes, playing with a person is going to be playing with a CPU any hour of any day.
Always.
Totally true. I agree with that completely.
All right, and I believe that's our show. So, Aaron?
Just want to thank you all for joining us. I hope you've had as much fun as we have.
Yeah, I hope you learned something from all this.
And I hope your dreams never die.
Be sure to vote for the topics you'd like to see on the next show coming up.
Tune in and get hyped for the next episode of St. Rose Fireside Chats.